Morning everyone. Today I'm presenting a case study on WhatsApp desktop vulnerabilities discovered in 2025. We chose this case because it's very relevant to the secure communications and cryptography module. Even though WhatsApp uses strong end-to-end encryption, security issues were still found. So not in the encryption itself, but also in the desktop application. So in this presentation, I'll be briefly explaining what happened, why it happened, and the key lessons we can learn for designing communication systems. Moving to the next slide, which is secure communication principles. So to understand this case, it's very important to first look at the core principles of secure communication, which is confidentiality, integrity, authentication, and availability. So coming to confidentiality, it keeps the messages private. Integrity will be ensuring the messages aren't altered. Authentication will be verifying who is communicating. Availability will be ensuring the service remains accessible. WhatsApp implements these principles using end-to-end encryption. However, only this case study will show us that even encryption works correctly. Weakness in client-side software can still undermine our overall security. Moving to next slide, case overview. So as we can see that between April and September 2025, several high severity vulnerabilities were discovered in WhatsApp Discord, including, as I mentioned, CVE 2025-30401. These vulnerabilities affected the desktop version, not the mobile application. So importantly, we can see that the cryptographic protocols were not broken. So instead, the attackers will be exploited weaknesses in how the desktop client handle messages, files, and its interaction with the operating system. So basically, it clearly shows that the secure communication depends not only on encryption but also the secure implementation at the endpoint.
In this slide, we are going to talk about discovery and exploitation. So, the vulnerabilities were discovered through security research and were responsibly disclosed to Meta. And the research analyzed how WhatsApp desktop could handle incoming messages and attachment. And they found out that the attackers could exploit malicious message passing, unsafe file previews, and interprocess communication mechanisms. So basically, what they did is they did it by sending specially crafted messages or files. Attackers could trigger unintended behavior within the application, and this shows that the attacker often focuses on implementation flaws rather than attempting to break cryptographic encryption directly. And in this slide, we are going to talk about design and architecture flaws. So the root cause of the vulnerabilities was the number of the design and architectural weakness in the desktop client, and these included the inadequate input validation, unsafe file handling practices, and weak separation of trust boundaries. So the desktop applications also have a greater exposure to the operating system privileges compared to the mobile apps. So as a result, a successful exploitation can have more serious consequences. So it's a more stakes, so more consequences for the you know the web client or the desktop app. So this slide highlights the importance of the secure software architecture and strong isolation between different systems. So this slide discusses about the disclosure and the countermeasures. So after the responsible disclosure, Meta responded by releasing the security patches and rolling updates for the WhatsApp desktop. And these countermeasures included improved sandboxing and stronger input validation, and it hardened the interprocess communication as well. So that's it. That's uh, that's how they hardened their process after the update.
Next, I'll be talking about the impact analysis. So as we can see from the previous slides, these vulnerabilities affected many groups in many different ways. For example, like for users, the main risk was that their personal data could be exposed and attackers might have gained unauthorized access to their messages, files, or accounts. And in some cases, the system itself could have been compromised, which could lead to more security problems and loss of privacy. For organizations that use WhatsApp desktop, the issue raised like serious concerns about confidentiality and also trust. Sensitive business information could be leaked, which may lead to legal issues or even failure to meet security requirements. So this could damage relationships with clients and also partners. For Meta, the incident caused reputational risk. It showed how important it is to secure client-side applications, and it's not just servers. The case showed the need for strong security practices to maintain trust in secure communication platforms. Next will be about conclusion and recommendations. So basically, to conclude, this case study shows that encryption by itself is definitely not enough to fully protect communication systems. As we know, WhatsApp uses strong encryption, which means that messages are well protected while also being sent. However, security problems can still happen if the app software on the user's device has certain weaknesses. So these weaknesses can allow attackers to pass through the encryption and also access private information. So this proves that secure communication does not depend only on cryptography. It also depends on how well the software is designed and maintained. Future communication systems should be built with security in mind from the start. And they should also limit possible entry points for attackers and be also regularly tested for security issues, that is to conduct regular updates. Developers should also fix any vulnerabilities or problems that are found. Okay, so overall, this case study highlights that strong encryption, good software design, and proper vulnerability management must work together hand in hand to keep users' communication safe and secure. Thank you so much.